أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم ألهمنا رشدنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه آمين يا رب العالمين إن شاء الله نستمر عن دراسة هذا الكتاب قصص النبيين. Today we'll be studying inshallah today we'll be studying lesson number 16, which is based on Baitul Maqdis. This is Maqdis. Maqdis, let me write it here. Maqdis. Maqdis. Now this is not Muqaddas that we read it as Baitul Muqaddas. No, it's Baitul Maqdis. That's how the right pronunciation will be. और ये कौन सी scale पे based है? Like we have masjidun. Masjidun. Is a noun of place. Masjidun. Like we have mal'abun. तो ये the scale is that is maf'alun. Maf'alun. Or it could also be maf'ilun. Both the scales are meant for noun of place. Okay, so like we have la'iba, he played, that's the verb, and you bring the noun of place, you say mal'abun, the playground, खेलने की जगह. Sajada, sajda karna, he prostrated, or when you bring it into the noun of place, masjidun, the place of prostration, वो जगह जहाँ पे सजदा हुआ होता है. इस तरीके से we have maqdis, same scale. So here we have a kasra. So it will mean the house of sanctity, the house of sanctity, the house Baitul, the house of the sanctity. You also have this word Quds. Quds will be for Jerusalem. Quds, that's reserved for Jerusalem. Quds. So let's read about Baitul Maqdis today, inshallah. وكان لإبراهيم زوج أخرى اسمها سارة وكان لإبراهيم ولد آخر من سارة اسمه إسحاق. So here we have kana. Kana is a verb, and it is a verb that has an ism and that has a khabar. Ismu kana is always marfu, and khabaru kana is mansub. And we know from Jumla Ismiya that khabar has 5 types. So here we have li Ibrahim. This is jar majroor. So this is khabaru kana. Khabaru kana. Khabar has 5 types, and one of them is shibu jumla. And so this is shibu jumla jar majroor. And Ibrahim's gar munsarif tiptot, so it accepts a fatha in its majroor form. And zawjun here is ismu kana marfu, right? So this will be the ismu kana. And ukhra would be the naat of ism. So ukhra is feminine here, or iska masculine hai akhar. And akhar is, this is gair munsarif diptot, so this will not accept kasra in any scenario. Akhar, and this is used as naat in both. यहाँ पर भी naat है akhar masculine, यहाँ पे walad का naat है. So wakana Ibrahim zawjun akhar, and Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam had another spouse, ismuha Sarah, whose name was Sarah. So you do not use allazi here, allazi whose name, because allazi ismuha kiska whose name is zawjun. Zawjun is indefinite, so you cannot have allazi for indefinite noun, right? Allazi would be qualifying the definite noun. So here, but in translation, we'll do it. So there's a grammatical rule here that you will bring in whose in English translation. Ismuha Sarah, whose name was Sarah. Kana was. Then we have another sentence here. وَكَانَ لِإِبْرَاهِيمَ وَلَدٌ آخَرٌ, and Ibrahim had another son, min Sarah. Sarah is Gair Munsarif. We know feminine names are Gair Munsarif. So it accepts a fatha in its majroor form. So he had another son from Sarah, whose name was Ishaq. Whose name, again, we're going to bring in allazi here. I mean, whose, but we're not going to write it because it is defining walad. Walad is indefinite. And Sayyidina Ibrahim had another son whose name was Ishaq. Wasakana Ibrahimu fi Sham. Sakana is a verb. Sakana yaskunu means he lived. So sakana Uh, its synonym would be Ashayaishu. It will also mean to live. Ashayaish, it's an ajwaf. And another verb we have, quite similar one, that is makatha. That's again a synonym. So they have their own usages, but you can remember them. Makatha. Makatha also means to stay. Although grammarians say that makatha would be used for a short stay. So this will be, you can study this when you study grammar. But you can remember these two synonyms for sakana. Sakana means he lived. Who lived? Ibrahim. Sayyidina Ibrahim. It's file, right? File of verb sakana. So sakana Ibrahim of Sham. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he lived in Sham. Now, when we say Sham, generally people would translate this to Syria, but actually, this is an area of the Levant. We call it Levant, uh, and Levant would consist of, Syria plus Lebanon plus Jordan, Palestine. ठीक है, तो ये उस टाइम का जो शाम था उसके it would consist of all these modern day countries. Modern day nation states would be a part of the Sham of the ancient time. But today this Sham has been restricted only to Syria. इसको contract करके areas निकाल निकाल के ये अब Syria बन गया. But otherwise it was the Levant. We can see the Levantine area of the Middle East. So when we say Sham, we're not just restricting it to modern day Syria. It's the entire area of Levant. So we have Wasakana Ibrahim of Sham, and Sayyidina Ibrahim lived in Sham. Wasakana Ishaq, and Ishaq, his son, Sayyidina Ishaq al-Islam, lived also there. Wabana Ishaq, Wabana Ishaq baytan lillahi Sham. So Bana is the verb. Bana means to build. Bana, it's Mu'talul lam, it has a weak letter at the end, Mu'talul lam, so you call it Nakis also. So Bana means he built. So who built? Al-Ishaq is a file, Failun marfuun. And Walamatu Rafi Addamatu Zahira. Baitan Mafulun bihi mansubun Walamatu Rafi Al-Fathatu Zahira. Lillah is Jar Majrur fi Sham. Again Jar Majrur. So Bana Ishaq, Sayyidina Ishaq al-Islam built Baitan, a house, a house, indefinite, for Allah in Sham. So in the Sham, he built a house for Allah. Kama bana, like was built by Abuhu, his father, wa akhuhu, and his brother. So Abuhu will be the file of the verb bana, and wa akhuhu would be the atf, like like his father and his brother built bana baitan lillah fi Makkah, like his father and brother built a house, in Makkah. So he built a house in Sham. Right. وهذا المسجد الذي بناه إسحاق في الشام هو بيت المقدس. You see that? Maqdis. You see how it's written? Maqdis. So وهذا المسجد, this is مبتدا, right? هذا المسجد, this masjid. Now الذي is the naat. So again, so if it's a naat, obviously it's a part of mubtada, and it's defining masjid. You can see now we use allazi because it's definite here, and masjid is definite, so we will be using allazi here. So he's saying this masjid, the one which, banahu. So it was the verb here bana. So when हमने जब इसके साथ pronoun को attach कर दिया, so the alif came out actually. यहाँ पर alif था, but we don't write it that way. So when we have an attached pronoun with it, it became banahu. You write it this way. This is the same nakis verb because this was actually an alif here, right? Bana. So banahu actually means he built. It's a verb plus mafulun bihi, because we know that when mafulun bihi is in the form of a pronoun, it gets attached to the verb. Now Ishaku is marfu here, so this will be the file of bana. So banahu Ishaq would be Sayyidina Ishaq al-Islam built it Fisham, built it in Sham. And we know that, because this is a relative clause, relative pronoun plus relative clause ke andar there is something that connects to this main sentence. So you say alladhi banahu, and he built it, right? So it here, banahu, is going back to the masjid, but you're not going to translate it that way. You're going to say And this masjid he built, sorry, this masjid Ishaq, Sayyidina Ishaq built in Sham. We don't translate it as we don't translate this who, right? We say this masjid, the one which Sayyidina Ishaq built in Sham. We don't say built it in Sham, right? But in grammar, Arabic grammar, we have to mention something that connects it to the main sentence. So you'll always find a connector here. So this is the pronoun that is connecting it to the main sentence. That's the reason why we use allazi bana, or is banahu. So all of this is mubtada. So in mubtada we have two clauses. This is the main clause of the sentence, and this one is the relative clause. So this is entire mubtada here. Now this is the khabar here, huwa Baitul Maqdis, and we know that khabar has 5 types, and one of the type is Jumla Ismiya. So this is the example wherein the khabar is itself a Jumla Ismiya. So if you have Jumla Ismiya that has itself khabar and that itself has mubtada and khabar, so khabar here is Jumla Ismiya, and that Jumla Ismiya in turn has mubtada and khabar. So this is the mubtada of the khabar, and this is the khabar of the khabar. So we have two mubtadas and two khabars here actually. And in certain cases you will not find who are mentioned, right, in advanced things, but यहाँ पे author Sheikh Abul Hasan Ali Nadwi rahimahullah, he has mentioned it here for our simplicity, so that हमारे लिए आसानी हो के खबर को ढूंढना. This is the खबर. So खबर here is जुमला इस्मिया, and यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक is the mubtada. Mubtada is based on two clauses, main clause and relative clause, and this is the naat obviously of masjid. All right. وهو sorry هو بيت المقدس وهذا المسجد, and this masjid, the one which Sayyidina Ishaq alayhi salam built in Syria, is Baitul Maqdis, right? All right. So then we have another sentence. وهو المسجد الأقصى, and it is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Again, Al-Aqsa is Maqsoor, so you do not, it's a nat of Al-Masjid here, so you do not say Al-Aqsa you, no, lita'azzur, right? It's Maqsoor. So it will be Al-Aqsa will be the nat. So this will be marfoon wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dammatu al-muqaddara lita'azzur. All right, so then we have allazi again. Allazi comes as a relative pronoun. It will be defining masjid actually. Al-masjid wal-aqsa, allazi, the one which barakallahu hawlahu. Allah blessed it. So hawlun is actually the surroundings. But see, you could have mentioned here, allazi barakallahu hawlun. Allah blessed or placed barakah, the blessing, in its surroundings. But because we know that we have to have something that connects it to the main sentence, again, who comes in here, right? So you do not say allazi barakallahu hawlun. No, you say barakallahu hawlahu, or hawlan, hawlahu, its surroundings. So who again is connecting it here? So you have to keep this in mind, and I'll keep on pointing this out till the time you're familiar with it. But in translation, you actually do not translate who. So you just do it without that in English. But in Arabic, you mention it. Aqsa alladhi barakallahu hawlahu. So Allah placed the barakah in its surroundings. So you can say place the barakah in it. Wa barakallahu fi, and Allah placed the blessings. Wa barakallahu fi awlad Ishaq. So awlad Ishaq is mudaf and mudaf ilayh. So before it we have harfu jar. So awlad will be ism majroor wa huwa mudaf. Awladi Ishaq. This is Gair Munsarif, so it's mudaf ilayh, so it will accept a fatha in its mudaf ilayh majroor form. So fi awladi Ishaq. So Allah placed the barakah, the blessing, in the progeny or the children of Ishaq. Kama, like kama baraka fi awlad Ismail, like he placed the barakah, the blessing, in the awlad Ismail, in the children of Ismail, or the progeny of Sayyidina Ismail. Some again مضاف إليه, and this is مجرور وعلامة جره الفتحة لأنه من ممنوع من الصرف. So because it's alamatul far'iyah here, right? It's not asliya, so we have to mention the reason. Alamatul asliya would have been if there was a kasra, but we have a fatha here, so alamatul far'iyah here, so we have to say the reason why this is a fatha, لأنه, so you have to mention the reason, لأنه من ممنوع من الصرف. وكان فيهم أنبياء وملوك. وكان, again kana comes, so it'll have an ism, it'll have a khabar. So fihim would be the khabar kana, and anbiya would be the ism kana, and this will be doing atf on it, on this. So because it's marfuha, so fihim, and in them, so and in them, There were in them what? Ambiya, the prophets, and the kings, mulukun. So this is the plural of malikun, mulukun, and we have ambiya. So nabiyun, nabi, nabiyun would be the messenger. It has two plurals. One is a sound masculine plural. There be nabiyun, nabiyun, and second is ambiya, and this is a broken plural, ambiya, ambiya. And nabiyun, obviously, when you decline it, so this will be nabiyun, nabiyin, nabiyin, like the name of this book, Qasasun Nabiyin. So that is majrur with ya. Alamatu jarihi aliya. Nabiyun, nabiyin, nabiyin. Sound masculine plural. So this is another plural, broken plural that's been used in here. Wakana li Ishaqa waladun ismuhu Yaqub. And Sayyidina Ismail had a son, had a son, ismuhu, whose name. Now again, we're not going to use allazi because waladun, we're defining waladun, so it's indefinite here. Whose name was ismuhu, whose name was Yaqub. Yaqub, and again, Gair Munsarif, no tanween. Whose name was Yaqub. So Yaqub was the son of Sayyidina Ishaq. Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam was the son of Sayyidina Ishaq alayhi salam. Wakana Nabiyan, and he was Nabiyan. And here we have Kana Nabiyan. So Nabiyan is mansub here. So this is the khabaru Kana. Where is the ismu Kana? Mustatir. So he, huwa. Huwa is here. Wa huwa Nabiyun. So we don't say huwa. That is mustatir in it already. Kana is a third person verb. So that is mustatir in it. So ismu Kana is mustatir and khabaru Kana is mansub. All right. So, and he was a prophet. He was the Nabi. And then we have Wakana Yaqubu lahu ithna ashara waladan. And Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam had, what he had? 12 sons. Ithna ashara waladan. And we know in the Murakabat from 11 to 12, when we have, 11 to 19, these are all Mabni numbers. The first two parts are Mabni, except for 12. So this is not Mabni. Huh? So if it gets declined, it will be Ithnai. So this will be Wakana Yaqubu lahu. So this is Marfu here. Wakana Yaqubu lahu Ithna ashara waladan. So, and for Sayyidina Yaqub, he had 12 sons. So this will be Tamiz, and this will always be singular here and masculine. This will be singular, singular and not masculine, singular and mansub. Minhum wa Yusuf, among them was Yusuf ibn Yaqub. So Yusuf ibn Yaquba. Yaquba, why? Because ibn Yaqub, so this will be mudaf and mudaf ilayh, so it gets a fatah in its majroor form. Yusuf, no, so this was actually alif al-maqsoor here, so it gets, alif hamza al-wasl, it gets dropped, we don't write it when it comes in the middle here with this particular word. So it drop it and you do not read it also. So Yusuf ibn, so it was ibn Yusuf ibn, Yusuf ibn Yaqub. You don't read the alif. Yusuf ibn Yaqub. So among them was Yusuf ibn Yaqub. Wa Yusufu lahu qissatun ajibatun. So qissatun ajibatun, not manut. Ajibatun does not mean ajib of Urdu, it means amazing. So Arabic mein ajib does not mean the same as it means in Urdu. In Arabic, it means wonderful or it means amazing, wondrous. Like you have qaf wal Quran al Majid, bal ajibu an ja'ahum munzirun minhum faqala al kafiruna haza shay'un ajib. So the non-believers are saying this Quran is a shay'un ajib. Doesn't mean that this is ajib, that this is a wondrous, amazing. This is the first ayat of Surah Qaf. First or second. Qissatun ajibatun. So this is feminine and this is feminine because Nat and Manut will be in sync. Yusuf lahu qissatun ajibatun. So for Yusuf's, Sayyidina Yusuf al-Islam's story is a wonderful and amazing story for the Quran. All right. وَإِلَيْكَ هَذِهِ الْقِصَّةِ. Al-qissa, هَذِهِ الْقِصَّةِ is feminine here, so we'll use هَذِهِ الْقِصَّةِ, this story. And ilaika, it is not same. It is not, we will not consider this, it's an expression that we use, so you will call it ismul fi'l. Just remember it, ismul fi'l. So its mana would be khuz, like we say khuz, take. So ilaika, like ilaika, ilayhu, like this, so it will mean take. So like, for example, if you read the news, they say ilaika nashratul akhbar, take the news bulletin, right? Ilaika hazal kitab, take the take the book. So this is an expression like this, huh? Ilayka. So if you watch the news next time, you will find this word. Ilayka nashrat al akhbar. Take the news bulletin. So then next one would be, with this we end the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, and then we start the new story that would be titled as Ahsanul Qasas, the best of the stories. In the Quran, it's also mentioned as best of stories. In Surah Yusuf, it says Ahsanul Qasas. This title is given to it in the Quran itself, that this is the best of the stories. So inshallah, we'll be studying it in our next session, and this will be the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.